Right now it's just a black, but we can.
Yeah, maybe a lighter grey. Yeah.
And I thought, maybe I can save it for this meeting just so we can play around with this color.
Yeah. So yeah, just finished a Zoom call, Google Meet call with my website guy. Found a guy on like Google, made sure the Laquay website is looking way better. Gave him better directions. Really nice guy, really like responsive. I'm now working on a Laquay reel for Nadja, as you can see there.
Hi, I'm Nadja and I'm an urban planner. And basically my approach to urban...
Yeah, so that's gonna be out soon. Good day so far. Guys, just a quick update on like the next sweater that I'm trying to get out pretty soon. It's this, check this out. So that's what I'm working on now. You would have actually seen it in a reel that I posted on Laquay a while ago. A reel I posted a while ago of my friend doing a sketch. So I got him to basically do this sketch for me. He's really good at drawing, and I'm an artist as well. I do paintings, he does paintings, so I'm obviously going to incorporate that with Laquay. Yeah, he's a brilliant artist, amazing artist. He paints, I've known him for ages, and essentially I got him to do that. And I did change the colors to the Laquay theme, so brown, blues, greens, etc. And as you can see, it's basically like a splat. It's like a galaxy splat. I was going to call it galaxy splat sweater, but splat earth sounds pretty funny. And yeah, so it's good that I'm actually showing you this now, so then we can have a timestamp of when the process has started. Sampling process hasn't actually started yet. I'll put a timestamp here of when actually everything starts. Obviously, the carpet letter sweater literally took a year and like 3 months. So let's see if we're quicker this time. One thing I'm doing in order to make this quicker, and a mistake I learned with a carpet letter sweater, is I sent them my own measurements. So basically, I've got my own measurements here on the tech pack. All the measurements there, right? I've got all the measurements there, everything detailed nicely. The inside tag measurements and whatnot. The knit that they send me, I'm going to use that knit. Measurements there. And that's what I did last time with the couplet as well, but they still managed to mess it up because I'm not the best at maths. But how I then successfully got the carpet sweater actually successful is I then gave them a jumper that I wore and told them, can you just copy these measurements with adjustments? Obviously I like things a little bit slimmer, so I told them to make it slimmer, and specifically the waist rib tighter, so obviously like giving my own like custom to it. But obviously like they still managed to mess that up, so that then in return made me have to do 3 samples, which each sample takes a month, so that was 3 months added. So what I'm doing with this one, so that this one is hopefully quicker, is I'm sending them the jumper straight away before the sampling process with adjustment, and hopefully the first sample, if it's not perfect, at least the second one is, and then I can quickly get the ball rolling on that. Will this be ready by winter? Maybe. As long as I don't drop this in May, it should be fine, because then summer's there. Now, winter collections apparently are actually supposed to be, apparently from what I've done research on, winter collections are supposed to drop from September all the way to like January, and that's literally it. Anything after that, people start wanting summer clothes. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments here, by the way. I'm learning fashion. So yeah, basically, yeah, that's the new sweater I'm working on there. Splat Earth. That's it there, Splat Earth. You got earth colors with a galaxy splat. Really excited about this one. Really cool. Very eye-catching on the street. Colors are beautiful. There is no logo. There's going to be no Laquay logo embroidery on it or anything. I'm going to just let the design do its thing, and obviously it's going to have the inside tag Laquay on there. But yeah, that's very exciting. Forgot to explain this one, but essentially I'm working on Laquay brand right now as we speak, and it's going to take years obviously. But essentially how I'm starting, right, is I'm starting off by saying to the world Laquay is for people who have extreme obsessions and passions and excitement over things. So it could be gym for you, it could be business, it could be art, it could be making clothes yourself, it could be music. Essentially, it's that. So what you're going to basically see in the upcoming months is the Laquay Instagram filled with people explaining what excites them in life. In, I reckon, about a year's time, it will be very clear to people that don't know Laquay what Laquay means and who it's for. For example, Artrex is for people that like to explore and to climb mountains. So Laquay is going to be for people who have extreme obsessions in life and like to win in life. That's basically it. Brand will get stronger. The concepts will get stronger over the years. And yeah, that's one of the criticisms that I was explaining, the love story thing, that girl once, that's one thing she did say to me. She was like, before I do the shoot with you, you know, she was like, send me a PDF about the Lecrae story, how it started. Sent it to her, and then she was like, I didn't get anything from this. And she basically was like, you don't know what you're doing with your brand, you don't know what your brand is. Anyway, I then explained, and then I showed her like the Carpet Letter Square that wasn't out yet. And then she was like, oh, I take it back, maybe you do. But she was still right in the way of like, I still need to make it obvious what Lecrae is for. Like, is Lecrae a sport brand? No. Is Lecrae a luxury brand? Of course it's not a luxury brand yet. You know, is it streetwear? I'm not going to say it's streetwear because... Alright, what makes a clothing brand streetwear? Because that's a tough one, you know? Like, when I think of streetwear, I think of clothing that the logo is what makes the piecing, the pieces. That's just my small mind in fashion, what I think streetwear is. The logo's talking, not the pieces, which I don't really think it is that, but that is the perception I've got. And I don't want Lecrae to be like that. I don't want Lecrae to be like that. Am I gonna have Lecrae all over stuff? Yeah, obviously. You gotta tell people your life is getting quite exciting. But there are going to be certain things, like I said in the previous vlog, that it's very, very strong wearing something simply because of the colour or the silhouette. Even if it's dumb basic. Even if it's a fucking track top that Adidas done, but there's no Adidas logo on it. That in a way is still, all of a sudden, it gets you out of that box where people are going to go, is he jumping on the hype? And instead it goes, oh, this person likes this jacket because they just like it. I overthink this shit, but, you know, it's facts at the end of the day, isn't it? Yeah, I've got to be careful what I say because I don't want to disrespect streetwear. I don't wear streetwear. I don't wear streetwear because I don't feel like I'm a part of the groups that wear streetwear, if that makes sense. And I think that's massive in fashion. You wear things that you want to be a part of. Right, you wear logos and brands and represent brands that you want people to know that, oh, if he wears that, he's one of them. So essentially as well, going back to Lecrae branding, let's say in like 4 or 5 years time, Lecrae has its own thing going on, and essentially when you wear a Lecrae cap with the logo on it, someone goes, oh, he's wearing Lecrae, that means he's obsessed with something in life. To put it in very simple terms, it's like a brand for geeks, if that makes sense, you know? I want to get loads of people involved, artists that love painting all day, people that, you know, love doing calisthenics and all of that. It will look messy in the beginning because it's a startup. And I think that's where people go so fucking wrong with anything in art, whether it's music or whatever, where it's like, they don't start because as soon as they start, nothing's really cohesive. It's not going to be cohesive, but it will become cohesive when you just simply start. So I'm not saying Lecrae won't be cohesive, but it might not be cohesive the beginning few months or even a year if you don't know what Lecrae is. If you know my brand and you watch the vlogs and you know everything, you're going to understand what Lecrae is 100%. But someone that doesn't know what Lecrae is, yeah, it's going to take a while to build brand. So I'm definitely playing the slow game. Don't want Lecrae to realistically blow up that quick. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, that's good. I learned a lot of mistakes from my music career. I blew up way too quick. And when you blow up too quick, you don't know how the fuck you don't even... Alright, I'll give you a good analogy. If you get in your car and you drive to Oxford Street from Camden, and you get there there's like a weird button in your car that gets you there at like 300 miles per hour and you're there in 1 minute, you're not going to know the path you took. You're not going to learn anything from that drive. You're not going to learn like, oh, when I drove this way, I learned this and this. I learned to not take a left here. I learned to avoid the cyclists here because it's dangerous. You just get to Oxford Street. And then how the fuck are you then going to go to the next if you don't have that button again, right? Well, essentially that is that's what happens with like, that's what it is with like music or clothing, whatever, anything. You blow up too quick, you're not gonna understand like the shit you need to avoid. So I want Lecrae to be slow, I do, but I'm also honest with myself, and I've got to be careful with my artistry hippie mindset that I've got, because I'm very okay with not making money off of things. The problem is, then it is hard to then grow from that. So I need to be careful and be like I could easily run Lecrae for 2 years and it not get big and be like, oh, I'm still happy because I still love making clothes. But then that can be dangerous because then eventually I do need to grow it, right? And not even for money, but grow it to make money to do more Lukway, if that makes sense. If I make 500,000 off of Lukway and I put 490,000 back into Lukway, I'm gonna have more jackets, more designs, work with cooler people. So you need lots of money in your business to do more of your business, essentially, not to buy cars and Ferraris. I'm over that shit, man. I'm fucking over that shit. But anyway, that's just an update on the new sweater that's coming out. Really happy with it. Really happy with it. Really happy with it. It's going to be a full knit. It is 45% cotton only, because, and wait, 45% cotton, and the rest, I'm bad at percentages, and the rest acrylic, which I said to the manufacturers, can we just do 100% cotton? Can we just do 100% cotton? And they said that there's so many colours in there, and there's so much mad shit going on, as you can tell, that they can't do it. And I'm not joking, I'm not lying when I say that, I'm very honest. So I thought, yeah, fuck it, cool. Carpet letter sweater, that's, the whole body's cotton. The actual carpet is acrylic, which is fair enough, but the whole body is cotton. But I will try my best to use the best materials. But I'm also very reasonable. Half the time it's not even what you can afford, it's just because these manufacturers just aren't as good, or I'm not using Italian manufacturers and shit. And even if I do get a plug to an Italian manufacturer, I'm gonna need like maybe 15 to 20 grand to even start shit, if that makes sense. Watching some fashion videos, trying to get educated, and I just had a really good realization of, like, if you really want to win in life, you have to be so honest with yourself and just quickly just remind yourself, you are small as fuck, and you will be a small, and you will be a small one, like small fish in the pond, and you are an amateur. And I think that's so important, because from my experience, from people that I know that ended up not doing well in music or whatever, they've always had this thing where they, and like, listen, hear me out, where they basically would see me and they'd get so upset with me and the success that I have and had, and their whole thing was, I'm better than him, and their whole thing was, why is he there, not me, because I'm better, right? And I am experiencing that a little bit now when I'm looking at certain fashion things and fashion designers, and I'm kind of going like, oh god, they got there in 7 years, but I get there, and I'm having this like insecurity thing, and then I'm like, chill the fuck out, you just started, you're small as fuck, like, humble yourself. And in return, what that mindset's gonna make me do is get obsessed with learning and get obsessed with me owning the fact that I need to learn, I'm an amateur and I need help, and that is what would get me to a nice position in those 7 to 10 years time. And this is why this whole manifestation thing is a little bit of a scam, because every time I do well is when I actually weirdly go against manifestation and I'm being negative. Not negative, but when I kind of say to myself, hear me out here, oh, I'll never get there, and hear me out here. I think when you kind of give yourself that thing of like, oh god, I'll probably never get there, you kind of then weirdly do, because you quickly give yourself the reality and expect, you give yourself the perception and the reality that you're small. And once you admit that you're small and people are going to be better than you, you then naturally never compete. And you then never feel threatened with people surpassing you, because you've admitted to yourself, people are better than you. And then you actually do get better. Do you get it? Does that make sense? I'm trying to work it out while talking. I might be very wrong here. But I remember when I used to like do a bit of art, right? And I was like, from a young age, my mentors were like, within like, I don't know, the first 2 months, they were like, you're fucking shit, and you're just fucking shit. And then within like 8 years, I became like one of the best. And for about 3 to 4 years, I was moving around, saying to myself, yeah, I'm kind of the small fish and I'm just getting by. This is so difficult what I'm trying to explain here, because I'm trying to say bare things at the same time here. I'm trying to say bare different things at the same time, and it's really difficult because it does go, and I hate saying the word consistency, but it does boil down to consistency of like, if you just keep doing something for long enough, you'll gain so much experience and so much knowledge that the only thing that will make you then successful is you then having like a realization and then completely making that switch, and then you'd like make it within a few months or a year, but that could take 10 to 15 years. But if you do want these results bare quick, and it's deeper than that, right? Because I don't want the results quick, but I'm already comparing myself, and I've already got this thing of like, oh, I hope I can do better than that. Not I can do better than that. I'm not that egotistic, but I'm looking at things like, oh, I hope I'm in their situation when I get older. And that's fucking dangerous. Because what if you're not? What if you told yourself that in 6 years you're going to be close to where they are, and then in 6 years you're not even close? Actually, your business might have only just started properly running. You're so obsessed with being next to someone on their level that you don't even realize the progress you've done. You don't realize, all right, yeah, maybe it took you this long to get your shit running, but look, guess what? Now your journey's fucking started. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you've got to be so humble in life. It's actually scary how humble you have to be in life in order to make it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm obsessed with making it and shit, and I'll tell you why, man, because like, okay, my brain's just gone overheated. My brain's just overheated right now. It's overheated. I'll update you on my thoughts on this, but what the conclusion is, I'm starting fashion. I'm small. I'm an amateur, but I will try my very best. And because I'll try my best, my pieces will still resonate to people in an extreme way, which is great. That's it. All I've got to make sure is I don't play it safe, which means when I'm designing, I can't play it safe with designing. And I need to just learn marketing and all of that. Yeah, I love it.